This is Teachable Moments with April podcast, and you guessed it, I'm your host, April. If you're a returning listener and a part of the Teachable Moments with April podcast family, welcome back. For those of you who are checking me out for the first time, well, hello and welcome. To everyone listening, look for the teachable moments that are all around you. Enjoy. This is your host, April. So I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with this particular article that I'd read in, I think the name of the publication is Real Truth, The Real Truth, a magazine restoring plain understanding, and they have a variety of topics that they cover. I recently got it, and it's from rcg.org/real truth. So they basically talk about current events and what is the Bible's take on it. And one thing in particular that they talked about in this particular article, but I'm only going to talk about a portion of it, is an article entitled Missing True Leadership, okay? And it's by Samuel C. Baxter. And underneath that title, it says, amid deepening problems, domestic and global, nations require strong leaders. Where can they be found? So I kind of was like, was I going to do something in the future on it? And how was I going to put it together for the podcast? But sort of by me talking about the previous episode in which I talked about the situation that happened at the Iowa Capitol, in which they had the altar/display by the Satanic Temple, and things revolving around that, and the fact that this particular altar and display were in a place of legislation. The reference to the IRS believing strongly that the Satanic Temple should be recognized as a religion and as a church, as a religion, and how people in media, and whether they be mainstream media or social media outlets, how they respond to the subject matter and different tactics that they use when people kind of stand up in a way. Although I said I didn't agree with him damaging property, but I understood maybe how he may have been feeling. And like I said, I don't know the man, he doesn't know me, or something to that nature. So anyway, so this kind of put me in mind of the article that they did, but I'm going to only read a portion of, in closing, okay, of this particular article. And it's called, the subcategory is called Only Solution. The one thing all governments throughout the ages have in common is this: they all relied on men and women to rule them. This means every administration's rule was swayed by human nature. Some leaders feel human nature can be changed or governed with the assumption that each man, woman, and child is inherently good. Others feel mankind cannot change and govern with an iron fist, imposing, a tyrannical rule. None of these approaches have been successful. Okay, so that kind of ties in what I was saying about my own opinions about politics, that I'm not big on politics, and I don't value who's a leftist or a rightist. I don't know about you guys, but I hear about it a lot when I watch the news or I watch any other type of commentary on certain, current events. They always go about who's a Democrat, who's a Republican. And to me, I don't claim to know what God thinks. I won't even attempt to do that. But I don't care. I would think, I'm just speculating, maybe I'm wrong. I don't think God cares. You guys came up You, imperfect human beings, came up with Republicans, Democrats. Do you think God cares about who's a Democrat or a Republican? I don't think he does. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. Okay, so if whoever's doing it, whoever's doing something wrong, whether a Republican or Democrat, that's what the issue is. It's right, it's right. It's wrong, it's wrong. It's evil or it's good. Okay, that's how I see it. I'm just saying. So all this Republican stuff, and Democrat stuff, you can keep it, okay? So basically, seeing past imperfect human beings, we're not doing a good job, okay? We're not doing a good job. There's too much corruption, and it's because of the spirit that is behind it, okay? So you can be a Democrat or you can be a Republican. It really is irrelevant, okay? It really is. The corruption and just the inherent evil. Come on now, okay? Unknown to most, the Bible clearly explains human nature. It reveals how and why political leaders continually fail to initiate solutions. Look at Jeremiah 17:9. Consider this verse. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? So take this verse at face value. It says, it is the only answer to why even rulers ultimately fail. The human mind is deceitful above all things, despite millennia of being unable to solve even one of its greatest problems, war, famine, disease, etc. Mankind continues to deceive itself, believing it will ultimately discover these solutions, while the Bible reveals the why behind the failure of even great men. It also holds incredible good news of the only solution to mankind's woes, and they are many. And anyone goes back to the previous episode when it talked about what happened at the Iowa Capitol and talking about the three gentlemen on the panel of hosts for the Young Turks. Satan is real. Evil is real. Look all around you. It's getting darker and darker by the second. By the second. It's undisputable, okay? It's undeniable. But the power of the deception, the spirit of deception in itself should speak for itself. That there is a being, and it's not Jehovah God, it's the adversary that is keeping people blind. All the evil, the inherent evil, all the missing people, all the death, all the war, this is not from Jehovah God. This is from the other one. And the fact that people can look at something and they do not see anything. They don't see it. They're still sitting up here on this thing saying that Satan isn't real. It's a story. They actually said he was a mythical creature. He wasn't real, like a unicorn or something. They didn't say unicorn, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Like something out of a cartoon or something. Like this is just a story, a storybook, although I can't really think of anyone who wanted to tell a story, a bedtime story with Satan in it, but I don't know. Maybe they're from the Satanic Temple. I don't know. But I mean, are you for real? I mean, I have to speak on this. This is something else. It may not seem like that it's connected to this, but I'm a little late with this information. But the other night I was looking on Google, on my Google feed, looking on Google, and then they had all these things kind of come up, stories. And one thing in particular caught my eye. Well, two things. It was about the Satanic Temple and the after school. They have their own after school program, and it seems like they are gaining leverage and getting these satanic or after school Satan club, whatever it is they got going on. That's one thing. Okay. The second thing was a still picture of a new, well, it was from a month ago, actually, I found out, from Meg the Stallion. And it was a still picture of her in like complete darkness. It was completely dark. And it had the name of the song and the video called Cobra. That still picture, now this was a month ago I found out, after the fact. It wasn't as new as I thought it was, because I haven't been really listening to music anymore, actually. If it's not faith-based or what people would consider Christian music, I've listened to that. That's something I've really got into. But as for what is considered to be secular music, no. And I love music, and I've talked about this numerous of times. But I've actually walked away. Even when I have my moments and I get curious and I listen, I turn it off. It's like, but the thing with the Meg the Stallion thing, that still picture of her in this particular video was the inherent, you felt inherent evil, pure evil. It was like you were looking into a deep, dark abyss, and something cold and horrendous was looking back at you, just in that still picture. And that still picture for that video, it made my blood run cold. And I will be honest with you, I have listened to Meg the Stallion's music in the past. I have never, oh my God. Now I'm going to let you know, I didn't look at the video, nor do I have no interest of hearing the song or even seeing the video. But when I did go on TikTok and I just wanted to see what other people thought of it, there are some people that see it for what it is, okay? But there are others that when they looked at her doing whatever it is that she was doing in that video, they said all of these things. They started like talking about her relationship, why she broke up with this guy. I don't know if his name, Padi, P-A-D-I, Fontaine. I think that's his stage name, or is his real, I don't know his name, and that she was victimized and he cheated on her. And I'm thinking, I'm listening to them because I'm just curious. I often wonder what other people, when they see certain things, what are they thinking? No one seemed, a lot of people didn't seem to have the type of reaction. I'm not completely shocked, of course, that they didn't. But it's like it went right past them. It went right past them. That they saw it as something transformative. Oh, she's shedding off the old and in the new, and I'm so empowered, and it was lit, and the way she was dancing, they went on and on and on. And they're entitled to their opinion, but it seemed like the fact that still picture of how that video started up, looking like straight up evil, no one seemed to, it went right past them. It went right past them, and it was right there. And I tried to look at another young man's, and I forget his, I think his name is Nick. Oh, what is his name? I used to look at him a lot, and I kind of fell back on it for whatever reason, looking at other stuff. And I came across it, and he talked about some other things, but he ended up going to, addressing it. And he had that particular thing that I'm telling you of her video in a loop, and I couldn't look. I wanted to know what he thought, but I couldn't look at him as I listened to him, because he kept having that play over and over and over again. and it was just unnerving. It was very unnerving. I don't know how anyone, unless they have to be one or two things, they have to be evil themselves or completely and utterly oblivious to the evil. It's chilling. And I just think about her earlier stuff. Yes, Meg Thee Stallion's earlier stuff was kind of raunchy, yeah, a little ratchet, yeah. But they were they were danceable. Okay, they were upbeat. They weren't perfect. But this stuff, you keep seeing it with people again and again. It is a darkness that the darkness has always been there. But this type of darkness, as they say, it hits different. You feel like the blood in your veins freeze. And she's such a beautiful young lady. And I just keep watching all of them make the same type of videos, whether they're men or women. And then even when they do shows and performances, it's this dark, straight up demonic, satanic stuff. And you're standing there like, what in the world? And people are looking at it and they are like totally, they're not seeing it. They're not seeing it at all. They're seeing something else. He's projecting something else for them to see. And it goes along with the whole thing of he's not real. That in itself, that little bit I saw of, like I said, of that Meg Thee Stallion Cobra, it put me in the mind of a lot of the others. Doja Cat, her videos, they say, I have not watched. I used to listen to some of her. I cannot, all these videos with all these demons crawling on the wall and on the ceiling. She's portrayed, her whole body's black. She's got horns. If y'all don't believe in the devil, why, I don't know what's gonna make it. The only one that can help you is obviously God, because it's right there. All these videos are like these just satanic, demonic. It's not fun. It's not cool. I mean, what happened to the fun in the videos? It's like all you're seeing is all these demons crawling. She's like in the dark and her eyes, oh my God. It's creepy. It's disgusting, actually. It's so sad. They've just taken everything and just twisted it in something to so horrible. It just, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't know. I'm like, oh my God. I keep saying it. Okay, let me get back to the article. Oh my God. And then I made the mistake of showing it to Miss Mary, and now she's mad at me because I showed it to her because she says she can't unsee Meg Thee Stallion's serpentine eyes. I mean, that baby. What happened to the hot girl coach? What happened to the hot girl summer? What happened? What is this? What is wrong with you? And it really upset me because, I'm sorry. These are black people. What is going on? And then this other guy named Nick, I can't think of what his last name is. He showed, I forgot what the name of the guy is. Oh, it's another rapper. I only seen, he did a song, I think, with Nicki Minaj or something. And then he showed him wearing like an all leather outfit, but he was propped up on a cross. It looked like at night. He was propped up on a cross. Like he was a scarecrow / creepy, demonic something mocking Jesus. What is going on? I mean, other than the evil. And it's like, people are like, oh wow, it's so great. Oh my God, it's so great. It's this, it's that. I don't know how they felt about it. I think he said something, the name of the song, or if it was Return of Goldie or something like that. I'm like, what in the world is this? This is at the bottom of the great abyss. These people that we're looking at, they're not people anymore. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't know. I don't believe it. We looking at demons. We're looking at demons. Demons. But they're sitting up on the thing laughing at people, saying that the devil doesn't exist. welcome back. So I got a little bit off of topic, and I started a little rant a little bit about my disappointment in some of the things that I'm seeing in pop culture, and seeing this pervasive darkness just kind of overtake. Not kind of. It has overtaken many of the artists and some people that I didn't listen to, and some people that I actually did enjoy their music. And now you're just seeing just abject darkness and demonic and satanic lyrics and behavior, and just vary the imagery, and just my disappointment in it. Okay, so I'm going to get back to the article in regards to why there's only one solution when it comes to mankind's or humankind's different problems that we have been dealing with ever since the great fall, as they put it. Okay. It says, "Consider what is written in the Old Testament book of Isaiah. For unto us a child is born, and unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder. And his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace." And this is found in Isaiah 9:6. The child mentioned in this passage is, of course, you guessed it, Jesus Christ. And notice he has a government. The next verse states, at verse 7 of chapter 9 of Isaiah, it says, hold on, let me get it right. "Of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end, and upon his kingdom to order it, and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth even forever." So peace has not been increasing since Christ's earthly ministry. Obviously, it goes back to having discernment, okay, and looking past what I've been talking about, and in some cases ranting about, is the spirit of deception that is blanketed our society in so many facets and so many corners, every nook and cranny. People are not truly seeing what is happening. And then you do have people that do see, but they are a part of what's going on. In fact, the opposite has happened. War has increased. Therefore, this kingdom must yet be established in the future. Now, part of how Jesus will rule this coming super government is detailed in verse 6. Most imagine him as a helpless baby in a manger, or during his crucifixion, as a weakling dying on a cross. Yet, and I use the word weakling not in a disparaging way, okay, but with the deepest reverence to Jesus Christ. Yet the meaning of the original Hebrew words used to describe his characteristics reveals the traits a truly great leader must have. So we're going to start with wonderful, which means admirable and distinguished. Counselor, to advise, consult, give counsel, purpose, devise, and plan. Under Christ's rulership, mankind will receive perfect advice and solution to all its problems. Mighty God. This has a similar meaning to the modern term known as strongman. Prince of Peace. This phrase connotates welfare, peace, safety, health, prosperity, quiet, tranquility, contentment, friendship, as well as peace in human relationships with God and from war. This is true peace. This is the answer, okay? So Republicans, Democrats, leftists, rightists, whatever, the answer is Jesus, okay? With God the Father and Jesus Christ, they will set up the kingdom of God, which shall never be destroyed. And there's a reference at Daniel 2:44. Now, during Christ's time on earth, he constantly demonstrated real leadership. And in the gospel accounts, Jesus has been seen to be an exceptional speaker, sometimes teaching crowds of thousands and thousands of people. And there's a reference at Matthew 14, verses 13 through 21. He must have been incredibly effective because they refused to leave even when they were hungry. Now, in addition, he showed integrity, good in judgment, and vision, and he selflessly put others first. Now, as the account in Matthew 4 demonstrates, he is immune to bribery and corruption. In short, Jesus Christ is the perfect leader because he possesses perfect character. When this super government is established, people will again come from near and far to hear him teach. And at that time, many people shall go and say, "Come you, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords against plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nations shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more." And this is found in Isaiah 2, verses 3 and 4. Only when all of man's failed attempts at governing himself are wiped away, and God and his Son takes the throne as the all-time ultimate leader, will peace and prosperity finally break out across the globe. These conditions will continue from henceforth and even forever. Man's long-running search for true leadership will finally be over. You were just listening to Teachable Moments with April podcast. I truly hope you enjoyed this episode. We invite you to stay connected with us on our other social media platforms such as TikTok, Pinterest, Instagram, Threads, and YouTube. Also, check us out on our official podcast landing page on podpage.com/Teachable Moments with April to see all our content in one place. You can leave messages and give feedback and more.